Light Blooming in Darkness, an anthology of Edgar Allan Poe's short stories. The first step toward your intellectual exploration. Reading a book might sometimes seem difficult and distant. The fear of getting lost among countless words and intricate stories, as well as hesitation to begin because it might not be enjoyable, is natural. However, books are never for the privileged few. They are invitations to an incredible world accessible to all, and a magical tool that enriches and diversifies our lives. Today, I would like to introduce you to an anthology of Edgar Allan Poe's short stories. This collection is so powerful that even someone who lacks knowledge or cultivation would be captivated. Fear not the dark and bizarre tales within. These stories invite us to confront the deepest corners of human nature, discover unexpected logical insights, and test the limits of our imagination. Edgar Allan Poe, a genius blossoming in tragedy. Before we dive into the content of the book, let us briefly explore the life of Edgar Allan Poe. He was one of the most representative American writers of the 19th century, considered the father of detective fiction and a master of horror. His life was marked by misfortune and tragedy, losing his parents at a young age, a difficult relationship with his step-parents, and watching the love of his life, his wife, die of illness. Despite this, the painful experiences he endured deeply influenced his literary world, enabling profound investigations into the darkness and fear within the human soul. Poe left behind over 70 short stories, more than 10 poems, and numerous literary criticisms. He emphasized the single effect of a short story. Every sentence, word, and event was meticulously crafted to create a single, powerful impression on the reader. His stories go beyond mere storytelling, stimulating the reader's senses and psychology to leave a lasting impact and lingering resonance. The contents of Edgar Allan Poe's short stories. An alluring invitation into darkness. Edgar Allan Poe's short stories are filled with diverse themes and moods. Let's explore them in three major categories. 1. Psychological thrillers probing human fear and madness. Poe's most widely recognized works delve into the darkness and madness within the human soul. These stories focus on fear and anxiety born within humans themselves, rather than supernatural phenomena. The Black Cat. A man, consumed by alcohol and violence, brutally mistreats and kills his beloved cat. Haunted by guilt and hallucinations, he spirals toward destruction. This story vividly portrays the descent of a human from virtue to vice and madness, confronting the reader with the dark impulses within us. It chillingly reminds us that what we consider as evil may stem from our most vulnerable inner selves. The Telltale Heart. A killer, driven by aversion to an old man's vulture eye, proudly boasts of his perfect crime but eventually confesses under the grip of hallucinations and guilt. This story sharply examines how guilt devours the human soul and how the inherent conscience, no matter how deeply hidden, leads to self-destruction. The reader becomes immersed in the killer's unstable psyche, experiencing rising tension and dread. The Fall of the House of Usher. This narrative follows the bizarre events surrounding the fragile siblings, Roderick and Madeline Usher, in a decaying manner. The gradual collapse of the family and their home reflects a decadent, oppressive atmosphere and the ruin of the human mind. The story transcends physical horror, delivering a profound sense of desolation from the decay of the human soul. The Cask of Amontillado. Montresor, seeking revenge on a friend, meticulously executes a chilling plan. This story terrifyingly portrays the hidden hatred and cruelty beneath a seemingly calm exterior, and the obsessive desire for perfect vengeance. Readers are drawn into the vengeful perspective, fully immersed in the horror of his meticulous scheme. Though these stories evoke discomfort and unease, they paradoxically allow readers to explore the most profound depths of human nature. They provoke questions about why we fear, how complex and strange the human mind can be, and what the meaning of sin and punishment truly is. 2. The joy of logical deduction. The genesis of detective fiction. Edgar Allan Poe is also renowned as the author of the first detective novel. By pioneering a new genre, he greatly influenced later works like Arthur Conan Doyle's Sherlock Holmes series. His detective stories focus on reaching the truth through meticulous observation and logical reasoning, rather than relying on sensory horror. The Murders in the Rue Morgue. This story features Dupin, a Parisian citizen with extraordinary intellect, who solves a bizarre and gruesome murder in an apartment. It introduces the fundamental formula of detective fiction: observation, analysis, and reconstruction. Dupin's insights amaze readers, and the process of unraveling the mystery delivers an electrifying thrill. The Mystery of Marie Roget, inspired by a real-life murder in New York. This story follows Dupin as he analyzes newspaper articles to deduce the truth. By incorporating actual events into fiction, Poe enhances realism, drawing readers into the detective's perspective. The Purloined Letter. This story showcases Dupin's brilliant insight in finding the truth hidden in the most obvious place. It ironically demonstrates how human biases obscure truth and suggests that sometimes, simple and intuitive approaches are more effective than complex reasoning. These detective stories offer readers not just the ending of a mystery, but the joy of participating in the solving process. The satisfaction of uncovering order from chaos and deriving logical solutions from complex situations provides intellectual stimulation and catharsis. 3. Death, fate, and tragic beauty. Poe's works often center on death, loss, and inevitable tragedy. He elevates these dark themes through aesthetic prose and beautiful imagery, creating a unique tragic beauty. The Mask of the Red Death. Amidst a deadly plague called the Red Death, a prince hosts a masquerade to defy fate. Ultimately, no one can escape death's shadow. This story powerfully conveys the equality of all humans in the face of death and the inescapable fate that awaits even the most luxurious lives. The Pit and the Pendulum. The protagonist endures horrific torture during a religious trial, captured in a narrow space and plunged into darkness, with a swinging blade looming above. The story provides an overwhelming sense of fear and survival instinct, vividly illustrating extreme human emotions. These narratives explore the universal theme of death while delicately portraying the varied human responses and emotions toward it. Readers are prompted to contemplate the limits of life and the fragility of human existence. The implications of Edgar Allan Poe's short stories. Wisdom found in darkness. Now, let us discuss why this book is important and beneficial even for those without knowledge or cultivation. 1. Emotional release and empathy. Meeting yourself in safe fear. In daily life, we often experience stress and anxiety. However, it is difficult to express or resolve these feelings outwardly. Poe's short stories offer a safe channel to explore and release these inner, dark, and uncomfortable emotions. The madness, fear, and guilt experienced by his characters resonate with our own hidden anxieties and irrational feelings. Since these emotions occur in fiction, we can safely experience them and find catharsis. Moreover, as Poe depicts the psychology of characters in extreme situations, readers are encouraged to deeply empathize. Even if the characters' actions are abnormal, the feelings they experience, fear, loneliness, hatred, and guilt, are universal human emotions. This empathy within fear helps us understand both our own and others' darker aspects, providing profound insight into human nature. This understanding becomes an important experience in fostering tolerance and compassion. 2. Understanding human nature. Confronting the darkness within Poe's works reveal the complexity and contradictions within the human psyche. By examining the blend of good and evil, reason and madness, love and hate in his characters, we are confronted with the fundamental question: what does it mean to be human? Why does a sane person fall into madness? Why does hatred overcome love? Why does guilt lead to destruction? These explorations of the human soul encourage readers to reflect on themselves and the people in our society. Such understanding not only helps us analyze and predict others' behaviors but also enables us to reflect on our own emotions and actions. Questioning ourselves, such as under what circumstances might I feel madness? Or could darkness also be hidden within me, becomes the very process of cultivation. 3. Logical thinking and problem-solving skills. Intellectual play in solving mysteries. Poe's detective stories provide intellectual pleasure. As readers unravel the clues alongside Dupin, they naturally develop logical and critical thinking. The process of observing subtle hints, combining them, and reaching rational conclusions resembles solving a puzzle, offering an engaging and thrilling intellectual game. This experience can positively influence how we tackle everyday problems. Through practice in analyzing information, considering various possibilities, and drawing logical conclusions, we become wiser and more rational in our judgments. The skills gained from reading become practical tools for improving our quality of life, going beyond mere accumulation of knowledge. 4. Expanding imagination. Creating your own film in your mind. Poe's stories are vivid and sensory in their descriptions. The eerie atmospheres, psychological states of characters, and scenes of events are portrayed in such detail that they feel as if they are unfolding right in front of the reader. These descriptions stimulate the imagination, allowing readers to reconstruct the story through images and sounds rather than just words. Reading is not merely consuming text but actively creating a new world within the framework provided by the author. This is a fundamentally different experience from passively receiving information through television or movies. Continuously stimulating and expanding the imagination improves creativity and broadens our perspective on the world. This, in turn, fosters the ability to generate new ideas and explore diverse solutions to problems. 5. The beauty of language and literature. Elegance. Shining in darkness. Despite the dark and bizarre content of Poe's works, his writing is elegant and refined. With careful word choice and a delicate rhythm and cadence in his sentences, Poe creates a unique literary beauty. Reading his works captivates you not only emotionally but also by the power and beauty of language itself. Even without formal literary study, reading Poe's works naturally introduces us to beautiful expressions and deep symbolism. This enhances our language skills and sensitivity to the beauty of the world. The diverse and rich vocabulary and sentence structures encountered through reading enrich our own expressive abilities. 6. Cultivating a reading habit. A fun beginning builds consistency. The word reading itself may feel burdensome and boring. However, Edgar Allan Poe's short stories dispel such preconceptions with their engaging and immersive qualities. The short story format is less burdensome than novels, allowing you to enjoy a complete narrative within a short time. This reduces the pressure of reading and fosters a sense of achievement, making it highly effective in establishing a consistent reading habit. If you begin with exciting and stimulating stories and discover the joy of reading, you will naturally develop a desire to expand your reading horizons. Poe's works serve as the perfect introduction, demonstrating that reading can be an exciting and enchanting exploration rather than a boring obligation. Overcoming misconceptions about reading. Many believe that knowledge and cultivation can only be acquired by reading difficult books or through formal education. However, true knowledge and cultivation arise from the attitude of exploring the world, reflecting on oneself, and understanding others. Reading is one of the most powerful tools to nurture this attitude. Edgar Allan Poe's short stories need not be difficult philosophical texts or complex history books. This book will shake your emotions, confuse your mind, and explode your imagination. Through this process, you will find yourself unexpectedly questioning the existence of humanity and the stage of the world. This is the beginning of knowledge and cultivation, being curious, questioning, and thinking. Poe's short stories are willing to hold your hand as you take your first step. May your life become deeper and richer through the thrilling experience of discovering unexpected beauty and wisdom in the dark. Open this book now and embark on an enchanting journey into the unknown. You will never be alone. The potential intellectual curiosity and seeds of cultivation within you will flourish under Poe's touch.